Before I start this video, I have to warn that this video touches on the subject of detransitioning. If you are somebody who would be bothered by this, and somebody who is on a transitioning journey where this type of thing would affect you, I would say do not watch this video. But if you are somebody who would like to hear about there being negative repercussions to transitioning young, then yes, you can watch this. I mean, I'm not dictating what you do, but this character by themselves is not to be a negative stereotype of detransitioners. In fact, I think that detransitioners definitely should speak with transitioners so that everybody is open to a discussion about how this is. And I feel like there should be a stigma, basically the stigma should be removed from detransitioners, and that they should still be part of a transitioning journey by giving the option that yes, not everybody was cool with transitioning. So Aurora is going to be a female to male to female detransitioner. So I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to put it in the title, and just so that there's nothing overtly messed up about this, and I want to warn people ahead of time. So here we go. Hey there everyone, this is Phantom Celebi, and I know with River, I have talked about the good side of child transitioning. So there is some goods to child transitioning. One of them being you will be more passable and definitely will assimilate into society a little better. But I thought to myself, I never talked about the bad side to child transitioning, because with every type of transitioning there is a bit of a downfall to that, because little do people know transitioning can be pretty dangerous, especially for the individual. It puts them at risk for certain diseases. It can even put them at risk for cancer. Look this up. I am not kidding you. Transitioning is a very scary and dangerous thing, and that's why I've said before, even with River, when I started doing his transition journey, I plain out said he is lucky because he has resources to help him out. Some people who have started their transitioning journey do not have the resources that River, my character, has, because, you know, that's commonly associated with people with more money. So with River had the option to freeze his eggs. River had options to go on puberty blockers for a bit. River had the options to be able to do a lot more. River got all the binders he needed. River's been getting treatment, therapy. River's been getting tons of outside support. And the thing is not every trans kid has that option. So I was thinking for this video that I would make a trans child who didn't do so well with transitioning. So therefore, this is going to be controversial. It was already controversial having River be a transgender child, but I'm thinking for this next character, I would do the other side to transitioning, which is detransitioning, because like in my mind, I can't talk about transitioning as a good thing for one person without considering the fact that detransitioning does actually exist. And I thought about this myself for a bit, and the thing is, it's like I've seen people now, okay, I was talking to people online, and they're like, they've got such a misconception about transitioning and detransitioning, and it's kind of crazy if you think about it, because people think it's a cure-all, pretty much, to just transition, and that everybody's just gonna be okay with it. Like, it's not gonna just totally backfire on them, because, like, that's not the case. I know somebody who's a transitioner, and I know someone who's a detransitioner, and the detransitioner who has spoken to me about going on several forums and full-on just talking about their issue has told me that they were misled by society. Totally misled. And the fact is detransitioning is going up. It's pretty crazy. And it's because literally everybody views transitioning as a cure-all to sort of dysphoria, because you don't need to be trans to, you know, have dysphoria, in my opinion. You could probably have gender dysphoria because maybe you're non-binary. And before anyone says non-binary falls under the trans umbrella, I'm gonna put this out there. Years ago, transgender meant that somebody was male and went to female, or female who went to male. My personal opinion, non-binary is kind of its own thing, and I guess it depends on what type of non-binary you are. You're not directly... Okay, so with the non-binary, my opinion, it can go under so many ways. You can be somebody who's androgynous, you can be somebody who's not androgynous. You can go as in someone who's a little more feminine, someone who's a little more masculine. Because, like, the way non-binary works is it's just, you don't completely fit into the typical gender binaries. So, this is how I feel about non-binary. And that's why I feel like it's still technically not the same thing as full-on being transgender. It can be under the trans umbrella, but I don't think it's exactly the same thing. So, before you go on and hate me for that, I still acknowledge that it is an identity that involves transitioning from some sort of gender state. I just don't think it's exactly being transgender. There, okay, I said it, and now there's gonna be a bunch of people hating me, they're gonna be tossing me out windows, they're gonna be like, "No! I must hate you!" Even though you pretty much said everything we've said, but because you said it's not transgender, you're a monster! Okay, so, enough of this aside, I wanted to establish this character as somebody who did actually listen to these transgender activists, the ones that, not the good ones, I'm gonna put this out there, there are good ones and there are bad ones. I'm talking about the bad ones. And a lot of the transgenders, basically the people who follow transgenders, the ones that I have noticed who are detransitioning, a lot of them followed transgenders. Transgenders are people who basically they pretend to be trans or perpetrate negative trans stereotypes and then tell people this, and then it confuses younger audiences. So I have talked to several people on Reddit, I have talked to several people I've known personally who have gone through this, and they have specifically told me that if they hadn't heard from several people that you don't need gender dysphoria to be trans, they probably wouldn't have faked gender dysphoria to get transitioning treatment. And the thing is, it's so easy to do that in the US and in Canada. Like, I'm not putting you out, I'm putting you out there, Canada. Canada, you guys let people say that they're trans when they're not trans. Like, full on. That is not cool. Like, if somebody just says they're trans, and you're just gonna assume that they're actually trans? Because sometimes people say things that they don't actually mean. And especially with children. Like, children do actually go through different types of feelings in their lives. It's like, you don't seem to get the fact that maybe this person might be non-binary. This person might not even be non-binary. This person might just feel upset or scared or confused, and it's like, you don't even put into consideration that teenagers are also kids. So it's like, what the hell? So, like, I'm gonna say that even though I personally think that you should wait on transitioning till you are at a better spot in your life and can actually work on your body, and to be honest, if you truly do think that you're trans, or you are trans, and you truly are trans, I would say it doesn't hurt to wait on transitioning, because there are some benefits to waiting. And if you're worried about not passing, I don't think it's a big deal, honey. You know, like, if you are out there and you're somebody who are scared about if you don't go on puberty blockers fast enough that you're not going to pass, I don't think anyone in society currently is going to treat you terribly if you don't completely pass. Because, just to put this out there, puberty blockers aren't the ultimate cure-all either. Because I know people who went on puberty blockers. No joke. they went on puberty blockers, and they found out they're not trans, and now they can't assimilate as well. Because what people don't tell you about puberty blockers is that because it stunts your secondary sex characteristics, it kind of makes it so that you don't develop them right away. So when you do actually want to get off them, which is a thing, you get basically your body starts to do this thing where it doesn't exactly start to do stuff right away. And the thing is like after puberty blockers, a lot of kids as soon as 16 start their hormone treatments. So with a friend of mine, like, she went on testosterone and she regrets it horribly because not only did she get basically a male voice, but she also got male body hair and full-on male characteristics. And then later on, she spoke to me and she was like, I regret doing this. Now I want to be a woman again, and it's going to be hard because I'm going to have all this hair. I'm going to have full-on no boobs. Like, she told me straight up that there's a good chance she's going to have to save up to get breast surgery because, like, she doesn't have the right body because she went on puberty blockers for so long, and then she took testosterone. So it really does have an effect on the body. And that's why with this character, I basically wanted to make sure that that type of thing was established. Because, like I said, if I'm going to be talking about the positives of this, I should talk about the other side of it, which is the negatives of transitioning. Because, like, there are negatives to transitioning. So, I'm sorry if this is probably gonna trigger you, make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But, like, I personally feel like it would be wrong not to talk about the basic stuff that can happen if you are somebody who thought you were trans when you weren't trans. And the thing is like, I'm not trying to devalue any person's journey, because being transgender can be as soon as you're popping out of the womb. You could be like, just not right in your body. And I am not going to devalue anybody's journey. I just say, if you're a teenager, please consider all your options. Because being transgender is a lifelong thing, and it is something that you can't reverse. Anybody who tells you you can reverse it, you cannot. You cannot reverse this situation. If you go on testosterone as a girl, you're gonna get a deep voice. If you are a boy and you go on like estrogen, it can cause issues. Basic issues if you're trying to develop properly as a male. And things just like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people don't seem to get that with every type of medical procedure, whether it's for medical reasons, cosmetic reasons, or anything like that, they don't seem to get that there is, you know, problems with those things. And if you are somebody who maybe lives in another country that's not North America, in your country, transitions are a little harder to do, and they ask you for, like, more treatment, and, like, because I know in Austria, they actually have a very good option for people who are transitioning, where they have them go through therapy for years, full-on years, before even putting them on puberty blockers, and then they talk to them, and then, like, they get them through as, you know, basically establishing all the things that can happen to them. And then if they still agree to it afterwards, then yes, that is a very good option. They don't do that here in the US. And before you tell me anything, the longest treatment they really do for anyone over here, as far as I've seen from people that I know, is just a few months of therapy, and then they start them on drugs. It's like, what the hell? Why can't you guys just do your jobs and investigate whether or not these people actually are that way, because this is irreversible to their bodies? I mean, it's not completely irreversible. I mean, with the person that I'm talking about who detransitioned, they're actually starting to get some of those features, but it's gonna be very, very, very long and arduous because they were on puberty blockers, they were on testosterone, and that is the truth. So I hope you guys don't hate me for making this character. Like, comment, and subscribe for more spastastic content, and hopefully this doesn't ruin my series, and I will see you soon. Peace, goodbye, mwah. It's time once again for the Phantom Squad top tier. These are for the people who are awesome sauce. And I know that you guys have heard this every single time you've seen my video, but to be honest, I feel like these people definitely do deserve the appreciation and love and respect that I give them, because they have been there for me throughout everything. They are my friends, they have supported me through Patreon and all that, and I appreciate it. The fact that I'm going over 200 subscribers now and really developing my channel really does touch me, because it really does make me feel like you guys care. So continue watching, and if anything, like, I will update this at some point, but these are the people who have been true blue there for me throughout everything. And the few that are bigger YouTubers, they've actually been very supportive to me in the past. They've talked to me, they've done all this stuff, like Veggie Gamer and Base Shaman. They've been very sweet with me, giving me advice, doing things with me. They really, I think the two of them have been very good to me, and that's why they're on this list. So here's to you, Jazz the Chameleon, Potato _ a bunch of numbers, Edie Rose 23, Cute Girl Sim, Calorie _ Aiken, Malunix5, Carissa Sims, Benjamin GYT, Lovely Laura, Veggie Gamer, Base Shaman, EJ Black Dove, Trippy D, Ray of Sunshine X1, Sonic Jenny, Shifty, Kaleda Sims, Prismatic Simmer, Sims Lena, Stray Shadowcat, Sims Lita, and Josh CHG. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and if you guys want to keep up with all my endeavors and beyond, follow me on Twitter, and all my social networks will be in the description, and I will see you soon. Peace.